Alright, so I think I'm gonna do this last segment and I'm gonna go home. I'm gonna talk about my dad. My dad's name is David Harris. He was born on May 25th, I believe. May 25th, I don't know the year. I don't know how old he was when I was born. If I did, I could find out his birthday or the year he was born. I think he's older than my mom, and my mom was like 30 when I was born. My father, I love my father very much. I always did. I think everybody does. I spent my whole... Alright. I was always considered the favorite. I was the favorite. I was my father's favorite. I always wondered if my brothers ever resented me for it. They never said anything about it. But I may have been his favorite, but it only hurt worse because he left me too. And it's not like he just took his favorite and left. Because then I would have grew up without my brothers. You know, that probably would have been worse. But, excuse me, he left me too. And that's how it always felt. It always felt like he had left me. And after my parents' divorce, it's like I always felt like, I don't know, man. It was horrible. I cried so much. You know, I couldn't understand why he didn't love me. You know, now, of course, he'll say he did love me, and he still does. You know, but that's not the feeling that I got. That's not the reality of the situation. That's not what really happened. That's not how he acted. You know what I'm saying? If you ask me as a kid, did my dad love me? I would probably have said yes. Even though I knew the reality of the situation. And the reality of the situation after the divorce was, I really only saw my father. I really honestly felt like I saw my dad 2 times a year maximum. That's how it felt. Like I only saw him twice a year at most. And my brothers used to always make fun of me and tease me and poke me because I was the only brother that still believed what my dad told me. And like my brother Justin mentions it to this day, that he wished my mom didn't stop him from being more aggressive towards making me realize that my dad wasn't coming back and he didn't give a fuck about me. He feels like that would have made me stronger. You know, I grew strong regardless. But I remember that too, just for my whole childhood being the only son that still respected and loved my dad. And you know, like I remember calling my dad one time. You know, I remember where I was. I was in my house on the house phone, looking out the sliding glass window in the back. And it happened to be my birthday. And that's why I called him. I called my dad on my birthday. And I remember what I said to him. I said, "Hey, Dad, it's Chad. I don't know if you remember, but it's my birthday today." That's like the saddest phone call ever. Like, like I gotta call my dad on my birthday. Like, why did I even waste my time? Like, he obviously didn't give a fuck. So, by the time I was 12, it's like I knew exactly what type of father I wanted to be. And that was a father that was actually there. You know? Uh, so, it was really obvious as to why I had to go through something as traumatic as that, because it got the point across. And the point was, don't ever make your child feel like that. You know, like when my dad said he was coming to get me, the natural thing for me to have done would be to pack up my bags and wait inside the living room and play the Nintendo 64 or Super Nintendo or PlayStation and play it until he comes. But I would be so excited to see my dad, and I really believe he was gonna keep his word. So every time, like, I would just pack my bags. I would even pack the game system. That's how I know I believed he was coming. Like, I packed my game system up, and I would be outside. Like, I would be outside with all my bags, and my street that I lived on, it was like basically a one-way, because the other end of the street, it looped around really far, so nobody would really come that way. Like, it looped around like the whole neighborhood basically. Like, it really did loop around. So in this weird way, it looped around back to like the main street. So nobody would really come that way unless they knew where they were going and stuff. That's like the really in the cut type way. So I would just be posted up, just staring down the street. And every car that turned on the street, I would just get happy. Then as soon as the car would drive past me or turn before me, all the happiness goes away. And I would basically stay outside every time for at least an hour, at least until somebody came and got me, you know. So we got about a minute and 15 seconds left. If you couldn't tell, it's pretty much crying this whole segment. But yeah, man, you know, life gives you exactly what you need to do what you need to do. And that's kind of what I'm doing right now. I'm just telling you the rough things that life put me through, and how it really influenced the person I became. You know, because I always remember that thought too. 25 seconds left. I always remember that thought as a kid. At 12 years old, by the time I had my first niece or nephew, I knew exactly what type of father I wanted to be. And that was based on having an absentee father. But I want to end this 10 seconds out by saying I still love my father, but it just really hurts to have to succeed without his help.